Hello, I just wanted to welcome everybody to Microsoft Excel. This is Tammy Munson, your instructor. I will be finishing scoring the Microsoft Word tests this week, and so you can be looking for both a score for your concepts test in Word as well as your hands-on test in Word. This week we're going to go ahead and get started with Microsoft Excel. If you've taken a look at your textbook, you will notice that the section color is now green, which is representative of Microsoft Excel. If we go ahead and take a look at an Excel workbook, you can see what that workbook looks like. It's basically the same as Word. You have your ribbon with some different groupings, and within those different groupings you have some different options. So you'll want to become familiar with some of the options that are available within the Sheet tabs. You'll notice that you can spell check under the Review tab like you did in Word. You're going to be able to format font and font types and things like that within the font grouping that you we're used to on the Home tab in Microsoft Word. I would like to just point out that when you go to take a look at your assignments, so the first assignment, when we're talking about worksheet activities, you're going to notice here's the activity, here's a little screen capture of what it is that your answer should look like when it's done, except obviously you have to spell check this. You're going to look in the spreadsheet and you'll notice that there's nothing under this activity. That's because you have to type the table in. The same is true with activity 2 and activity 3. If you go back and take a look at those, you have to type in the information and then format it the way the instructions ask you to. So 1, 2, and 3, you're actually typing the information in and doing the formatting. Be sure to read carefully so you know what cells you're working with. Remember, the intersection between a column and a row is a cell. So if you have to do something in cell B3, I'm going to go to column B, I'm going to look at row 3, and that's where I type my information. Then when you get to activity 4, you're going to see that the spreadsheet's already there, and you simply have to fill in the information that it asks you to. So if I go take a look at activity 4's sheet tab, I want a total. So I can click in the totals box, I can go to the Autosum button, and I can click on sum, and then it writes that formula for me. So equals function, I'm going to go from B4 through cells B14. So this is my range, B4 colon B14, and I press enter. And then I have this nice little thing called the fill handle. If I click my active cell on a cell, then I can grab this fill handle and I can fill that formula across. So I only had to type it in once. If I want to do the average, I can go to the Autosum button. I can click on average. It writes that formula for me. I want the average of B4 and C4. I can press enter, and then once again I can fill that down. I want you to notice though that I'm only going to fill to Maureen Pascal because I don't need an average of the total. So those are just some basic tips on that particular worksheet. I also wanted to show you the second worksheet. So this one has two sheet tabs. During Industry, which looks familiar to what you just worked with, as well as Clearline Manufacturing. So in During Industries, we're working with, again, averages and totals, but we're also working with the highest total and the lowest total. And so that is your maximum and your minimum, which you also find under the Autosum. If I pull up the instructions, you're going to see that I pulled up a different set of instructions for you. Let me see. Let me go back out to your assignment link here quick. You're doing mathematical operators and inserting formulas into a worksheet. So yes, the one that I had pulled up for max and min is the correct one. So you're doing inserting formulas into a worksheet. When we pull this one up and take a look at it, you're going to be working with the payment function. You find that payment function under the FX button. If I click on that, PMT shows up here. If it doesn't show up for you, then you can come up here and you can type PMT or payment and click OK, and it will bring you out to the dialog box. So now I need to know my interest rate. Well, my interest rate is found in cell C5. So I type in C5. I cannot type in 7.5%. I have to type in the C5 because Excel works off of cell names. So my interest rate, as you can see down here, is based on a period. Well, this loan is based on a year, so I have to divide this number by 12. Whoops, I forgot the division sign. There we go. Then NPR is the number of payments I'm going to make. So that would be the term in months. So again, I'm going to type in cell D5 because that's the term in months, 120 months, and you can see that right here. Present value is what I owe. That's my loan amount. And so that would be 125,000, which is found in cell B5. But I want you to notice if I just type in B5, it comes up with a negative payment. I can't make a negative payment on a loan. So I have to put a negative symbol before that because I'm making a positive payment toward a negative loan balance. And I click OK. And there's my formula. What I need to do is make sure that I'm in the correct cell when I'm putting that formula in. So, whoops. Again, I can come up here and I can type EMT, open parentheses. I'm in cell C5 divided by 12. This is just a way to type the formula out longhand if you don't want to go through the dialog box. Then I go to D5, and then my last cell is a negative B5. And then I press enter, and I can fill that down. So that's how you compute the payment formula. Then the total payments is going to be what the total is with interest, and then you're going to figure out what your interest is also. This sheet tab again, max and min. If I want to know the highest number in a range of cells, I'm going to go to the Autosum button and choose max. Notice when I do that, it pulls this total row. If that's not the max value, then I can left click and drag through my cells. Now, if it wants the total out of the entire spreadsheet, like from B4 to G9, then I'm going to have to go ahead and drag through G9. So make sure you know what the instructions are asking you to do for your max and your min total. So your min total would be in the minimum or the lowest total box. And you could figure out your minimum by going to Autosum and choosing min, and it will write that formula for you. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Please, please, please use your textbook if you are not familiar with Excel. Between the video that I provide each week and the textbook, you should be able to find out the information. Probably one of the biggest factors of being in an online class is you can't wait till the last minute to do something. You do have to read and prepare for the class just as if you were taking it face to face. The drawback, you have to do it on your own. You don't have an instructor with you to take you through everything. And I do understand that some of you have some background with Excel, but if it's new to you, you need to spend some time working with it. You're not just going to get it through osmosis. So if anybody has any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. You have a knowledge check for chapters 1 and 2 in Excel, which should be active by this afternoon. And you also have the 2 assessment assignments, one for Excel chapter 1 and one for Excel chapter 2. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and have a great week.